Good Monday morning. It's Monday, May 19th, about 8:30 a.m. I'll tell you, I slept in this morning. My intent was to get up and around so I could get into Damascus early, and I still will, but I slept until like 7. I think I was just a little fatigued from yesterday's 14.8-mile hike, as well as being in Damascus and having all the loud noise and partiers going all night long. So it was a nice sleep, and I'm ready to get back at it today. It's about 5.5. Actually, I keep saying different numbers. I think the true number to go where I'm going is like 6.2 miles to get to the Place Hostel and the post office and all. I made a separate baggie of all the stuff I want to send home today, and it feels like it's about 1.5 pounds. So that would be nice to drop that weight once I get it out of my pack. So last week, I dedicated my hike to all my friends and family who encouraged me to get back on trail. I'm happy to be here. And, you know, I don't know how long this is going to go for me. I'm going to do as much as I can until I stop having fun, as I mentioned previously. So far, it's fun. I am on my own this time, which is different. I enjoyed having that little tramway I had before. They're all gone now. They're all actually on their way home. So there's nobody left on the trail besides myself. Otherwise, though, there are all those through hikers that are still going that are about miles 700, 650-ish that I hiked off and on with. So I know that some of those will make it through. This is a difficult journey. It's not as easy as you know, you'd think it would be. It's just walking, but there's a lot that goes into it. You know, being sleep deprived, also having to manage your day, figure out what resupply you need, how far you should go, you know, and it gets lonely out here. You're thinking all day long. So having some companionship with friends on the trail is nice. I'm sure that in time I'll make those friends, but we'll see. There's also something to be said for being on your own, because then you can kind of set your own agenda and not have to worry about others. Anyway, I'm going to dedicate this week to my father-in-law and mother-in-law, George and Elaine Kramer, who live in Sun City, Arizona. I want to thank them both for all they've done for Gwen and I over the years. We really, truly appreciate everything. And I know that you're watching. I remember going down into Sun City for Christmas a few years ago, and I had one video posted on YouTube about a biking trip I did at Lake Tahoe a few years back. And George kept telling me, you know, you need to get more videos up. I'll watch all your videos. I've watched this one a number of times. So get more videos up and you'll get more followers. Now, I'm not much of a YouTube guy, but I guess I'm becoming that way. So George, this week is for you and Elaine. It should be a fun one. I'll be going into Damascus again today, as mentioned many times previously. And I'm going to hit a milestone of the Tennessee-Virginia border today, so I'll make certain I make note of that. I'm going to hit the 500-mile milestone in about 2 days, maybe 3 days from now. I'm going to get up to Grayson Highlands where the wild ponies are, so that's exciting. There's going to be a little bit of rain between here and Marion. It's supposed to be light. Any heavy rain is supposed to occur overnight while I'm in my tent, which will be better than being on the trail. I'll manage it the best I can, and yeah, we'll just go from there. But I'm looking forward to a fun week, and again, George and Elaine, this is for you. I hope you enjoy it, and I appreciate all that you've done for both Gwen and I over the years. Thank you so much. Anyway, here we go. Let's get started with our day. Currently boiling water for my pour-over coffee this morning. So this is my little cold soak jar, plastic, but it can hold hot water and cold water. This is a little packet I won. I opened it up. You can see the coffee grounds are there. So I'll pour the water into that to get the drip coffee, which is pretty cool. And it's not bad tasting coffee, but it's a good morning so far. I'm excited about getting my day started. I'm all packed up and ready to go. So yeah, I'm down to a t-shirt and shorts already. It's warm, so it's gonna be a good one. I'll be down there probably around 11:15 or so is my guess. Sun's out. It's all downhill too, I believe, so that will make it go quicker as well. All right, I thought I'd show you what it looks like as I'm doing this pour over. So I'm pouring the water right into the center of this pouch. Don't want to fill it up too much, and the coffee's dripping out of the bottom. I made certain I had a lot of water for coffee this morning. I already had my protein powder, slant, skim milk, and granola. I'm really liking that, so hopefully when I get to these towns, I can find some forms of protein powder that are not going to be in bulk, so that I can continue doing that. I might still try to figure out a way to do it one way or another, because it's good and it offers me a lot of protein in the morning and a lot of calories, because that protein powder has a lot of calories in it. But that's what it looks like. Okay, currently 8:46. This is the way I'm heading. There's a valley down there, which has some farms and such. This direction I'm coming from. At the moment, it's flat. a little bit of downhill. I'll tell you, according to the map profile, it's supposed to be downhill, though I've had a few small climbs already. At 8:46, it's muggy. I'm guessing it's probably in the mid to high 60s, 65 to 70, somewhere in there already in the morning, so it's going to be a warm one. Or maybe I'm just thinking that, maybe it's less. But the mugginess is up there because I'm feeling it. I'm starting to sweat this early in the morning, which is crazy, and I don't typically sweat. These plants generate a lot of humidity though, I think, so walking through here might have something to do with it. There's really not much of a breeze at the moment, but I think I'm going to be on pace for getting into town around 11 a.m. or so. Could be a little later, could be a little earlier. All is well so far. There's a slight breeze there. Feeling good. It would be nice to find a place to do laundry today. I know that the place I'm going to, the church hostel, doesn't have that facility. So hopefully we can come up with something. I believe some of the other hostels will allow you to do laundry for a fee, minimal fee, $5 or so. If that's true, I'll walk over to one of those and see what I can do. But I have pretty much the whole day to get my act together. Small resupply and everything else I've already told you. I know that sometimes I can be a little redundant in what I tell you, but it's moving into a wooded area now and cooling down a little bit under the trees here, so this is nice. 2 hikers came by going southbound this morning while I was getting myself up and around, so there might be others I pass here as I go. Okay, I'm about 2/10 of a mile out from the Tennessee-Virginia border. I just thought I'd turn on the camera here for a minute and talk about bugs. The bugs are definitely out in force. So I have, I think, 3 mosquito bites, not a big deal. I've been checking myself diligently for ticks and I haven't had any issues yet, thankfully. There's spiders out, creepy crawlies, you know, all kinds of stuff. But it's easy to tell that I'm the only one on the trail at the moment because as I walk along, I keep hitting little pieces of spider web that stretch across the trail. And those darn spiders must have some sort of conspiracy going because they know exactly where to put their webs where it hits you right in the face. I mean, they're hitting me all over my body, but my face is getting the brunt of it as well. Sometimes the glare of the sun tells me there's one ahead of me and I'm able to use my poles to kind of whack it out of the way. But yeah, I think I've made up a new trail name for somebody that doesn't have one, maybe Webster, as long as they're one of those people that is also walking through spider webs like I'm currently doing. But at this point, most people have their trail names. Very few don't. So yeah, just heavy overgrowth. Very, very green. That's where I came from. And there's been a little more climbing this morning than I expected. You know, there's little bumps on the profile map, but those bumps aren't necessarily bumps when you're walking them. So yeah, but it's all right. I'm okay. I'm excited about getting to town and getting cleaned up again. It's currently 11:20 a.m. I made it to Damascus about 10 minutes ago. I'm sitting on the porch of the city library. Made contact with the place. Their check-in is at 3 p.m., but I can drop my backpack off now, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my laundry together because apparently they have a contact for laundry, and then I'm going to go over to the post office and then get some food and just continue doing all those things. It's a warm day, a little humid, but happy to be back in town, and tomorrow I'll head back out. So thanks for following along, and I'll continue filming as I progress through the day. But it's been a good hike this morning, so thanks a lot for following. It is currently about 3:50. This is where I'm staying, the hostel. It's called The Place. It's a small house or hostel that's run by the United Methodist Church. The church is behind me. This one's been used as a hostel since 1975. I'll show you the inside when I get there. They have very strict rules on who they allow to stay. Right now it's me and another guy who's back. He left the trail 13 years ago in this location, and he's jumping back on for the first day tomorrow, starting here in Damascus. But the church is out here now in front of me, United Methodist Church, and this is the main street. So I'm heading down the main street here in a minute because I am going to the grocery store Food Lion, which is about a half mile down. And yeah, so you can see First Methodist Church. I think it's pretty cool that they have this opportunity for hikers. But again, they're very strict with their rules for obvious reasons. They don't want anyone that smokes, does drugs, drinks, at least on the facilities. And You have to be a through hiker or a through biker. You can't be supported in any way. If you drive into town, they won't let you stay. If you have any dogs or pets, they won't let you stay. So a lot of rules, and a lot of people are turned off by those rules. Quite frankly, I like that idea because then it makes certain that you're really quiet and it will allow for a good quiet night's sleep. They don't have laundry. That's the only downside. So he recommended a place called Crazy Larry's up the road. It's another hostel that will do laundry for a fee. When I went up to Crazy Larry's, he was not in. I wasn't able to get him to answer the door, and I opened the door and yelled in and nobody responded. So I went over to the Broken Fiddle, a third hostel. Now the Broken Fiddle is like the party hostel where everyone that likes to do drugs and drink and all of that stuff goes. Some of my hiking friends from before had gone to that one. That's where I was originally going to go, and I just decided it wasn't for me. So I skipped going there, but I was able to take my laundry there, and they are doing my laundry for $7, which is no big deal. Anyway, this is Main Strip here. The laundry is not going to be done until about 6 p.m. because he's backlogged, but the fact that he was willing to do it for me was pretty cool. When I got up there, he had about 12 hikers. It looked like staying there, maybe even more. I recognized 4 or 5 of the hikers, 4 of them from when I went kayaking. An English couple and a German father-daughter couple or group. And they're friendly. We said hi, but again, I haven't really connected with anybody, and that's fine. But there were a bunch of people up there. I could smell people were smoking. There was some drinking going on. There was loud music, and honestly, I didn't want that. I had that at trail days, and I want time to rest before I get back out. Now, this caretaker of the hostel tells me that rain is coming in a little more than I thought was coming in the morning, so we'll have to see how that plays out. I am going to get out tomorrow, but we'll have to see how far I get with the rain. Right now, I'm walking down to Food City, and I may have already said that. It's about a half mile down here. But I had to get a new food bag today. I brought 2 small food bags, and one claims to be waterproof. Let me tell you, it's not waterproof. Thankfully, I had my food inside dry, or little plastic bags inside the supposed food hanging bag that was a dry bag, but it soaked through. My food stayed dry, thank goodness. And I had to replace it with one that I know is a dry bag. So there's that. I went to Subway and got my typical meatball sandwich, and there's a pub I'm just passing by now between the hostel and the grocery store, and on the way back I might just have a beer. I'm not adverse to having a beer, but I won't do anything else, and I won't drink a lot. I'm not into that. But anyway, this is me walking through Damascus and getting ready to get back out there. Super excited to be out here right now. And I appreciate that everyone's kind of following along and egging me along, so thank you. I'll show you more as I get closer. It's about 15 till 5, heading back to the place. Just went to Food City and picked up a few items that I needed. Walking alongside this beautiful river here that runs through Damascus. It's a nice day today. Something I forgot to share with you is I was walking along the trail today. I came across my first tiny snake. I almost stepped on its tail as it was slithering off the trail. It was tiny and it was black, so I'm assuming rat snake. And I may have already said this part, but earlier today I went to the post office and mailed off a box to Gwen of stuff I brought this time around that I really decided was not essential. I brought it as extra items, more so than the last time I hiked the trail, and it added an additional 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds to my gear. I really don't know the weight. I asked the lady at the post office to tell me how heavy the box was. She said it was like 2.8 pounds. I don't think the box itself weighed that much, so my gear must have taken up a lot of that weight. Now that did include some free items I got at trail days, the items that the gaiters I got from Outdoor Research, the t-shirt I bought myself, some of my hats. I had 2 hats I sent home because I bought a new one. And what else? A bunch of stickers. Now those don't weigh a lot, but you know, I took an extra little Tyvek sheet that I thought I might use in the shelters, but I'm choosing not to go into the shelters at this point unless it's very essential. And I didn't have that Tyvek sheet last time around, so I didn't really need it. Yeah, just little things, you know, that I really didn't need, but altogether they collectively add up to weight. So now with food and water, you know, I should get down to like 32 to 33 pounds, which is still heavy compared to some, but everything I have now is something I'm not willing to get rid of, at least not at this point, maybe further on down the trail. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy with that. And, you know, I think my food's gonna be heavy though. I bought some lunch items, breakfast items, and they have these tiny little pies like you used to be able to buy at McDonald's. You might still be able to. They're like 50 cents each, and I love them. They're only sold in this area or along the trail so far as I can tell. I couldn't find them in California. But I bought 2 peach pies, I bought a raspberry pie, and I think it's a cherry pie. But they have Boston cream pie, lemon pie. I didn't get those 2 this time around. But I'll eat those as my snacks, you know. Got some Pop-Tarts to supplement my breakfast. I remember saying that I wasn't gonna have Pop-Tarts and oatmeal anymore, but you know, the bottom line is you gotta have something. My protein powder and granola has been working amazingly well for me. I probably have another 3 to 4 days supply before I run out. And that should be about the time I get to Marion. I'll get to Marion either Saturday or Sunday. And yeah, so I should be able to hopefully find something there to kind of make up for the granola and protein powder. Anyway, it's a nice day walking along this trail that runs along the highway. The grocery store, I think I may have said this, is a little more than a quarter of a mile outside of town. And this is a bike trail. I don't know if this trail has a name or not, but the Creeper Trail is a huge trail that comes through Damascus. I don't know how far it runs, but it's known for biking and hiking. However, the Hurricane Helene took out 7 miles of it that have not yet been restored. The government has not found the need to restore that, even though it's a huge attraction for this area, unfortunately. But making my way back to the place. At some point, I'm gonna have to go up to that other hostel, the Broken Fiddle, and get my clothing that they've been doing for me, the laundry. So I have some loaner clothes from the church that fit and work out at this point. All right, so it's 6:30. I still have a lot to charge up my phone and all my electronics, get them up to pace so that when I get back on the trail tomorrow, I can go 5 days with the charge. This is their porch. Leave your shoes out here and your poles, which I've done, and my Crocs as well, since they've been out and gotten dirty. Now let me take you on through. Here's the bathroom and shower. Here's the kitchen sink for washing hands and all from the bathroom. This will be our dining area. I'll probably eat my fruit and drink my chocolate milk here shortly. There's an upstairs where the caretaker has his room, and there's more bunk rooms. But today it's just the bottom level. There are only 2 of us at the moment. Here's the sitting room where I can charge my things, and I'll read my book later and look through some of these books there. Here's the bunk room, and that's my bunk. There's a bunk being used in the corner by a guy that goes by J1. So this is the place. It's an older home, but they have everything we need here. I took a shower, got cleaned up. I just picked up my laundry from the Broken Fiddle. And so now I'm gonna just kind of get things together and start charging my equipment. Good evening, it's about 7 p.m. Currently sitting in the bunk room of the Place Hostel in Damascus, Virginia. It was a good day. I only did 6.2 miles, but there were a lot of chores to do in town. Once I got here, I got showered. I was able to get my clothes washed at a nearby hostel because this one doesn't have laundry. I had some dinner and went to the grocery store. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it took a long time to do all those things. So it's been a good day. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to head out early in the morning and do about 14, 15 miles. Now, rain is coming in apparently, more so than I thought, and there might be thunder and lightning tomorrow night. That is not something I could really manage. I'm still gonna get out there because the rain and the storm is not coming in until the evening. So I wanna make certain I can get a few miles in the day, set up my tent, and I'll just have to weather the storm. I don't plan on sleeping in any shelters at this point because of the norovirus worry. People are getting sick up and down the trail, and as long as I stay in my tent, I should be free from getting sick myself, at least I think. So we'll see how that plays out. But that means I'm going to be more exposed to the weather than I would be if I was in the shelter. I'm going to continue pushing on and to see how it plays out. Should be some exciting days coming up, so stay tuned. And I appreciate all of your following and all of your support. So again, thanks again. Sunny D out.